Welcome to Rat Salad Review, and today we have Dani Loble from Helloween. Hello, Dani.
Hello, Red Salads. How's it going?
It's going very good, very good. Actually, last night we did a podcast on the new album, and I had special guest Timo Tolkki on the show. I don't know if you know Timo.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Haven't met for a long time, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
When I saw him last, but yeah, we know each other for, I've known him for, I don't know, almost 30 years. No, 25 years.
Okay.
25 years, that's more exactly, 25 years, yeah. I bumped into him the first time, that was 98, something like this, when he was on tour with Stratovarius.
Yeah.
And with my former band, we did the first band, what's called support bands, something like this on the festivals, indoors festivals in Germany.
Yeah. So I do a podcast with him every once in a while. So he's a very cool guy. It was cool to kind of meet him because I don't expect to meet people like you and stuff like that when I started doing the show. And then he all of a sudden I asked him to do an interview with me, and he said okay. And then we've been actually pretty good ever since. We've been pretty good friends. So very nice guy.
Yeah, indeed.
And he enjoys your album too. I was because at first when I talked to him about it, he listened to like 1 or 2 songs and he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then last night when we did the review of the album, he was like, he listened to more of the album and he really actually did enjoy it. So I was glad to hear that.
A lot of musicians, even a couple of hours ago, Mille of Creator. Mm-hmm. Wrote me, texted me and said, "Wow, the best metal album of the year already," and something like this. And I was so, "Hey, hold on. We have just June, so we'll see what happens."
Yeah. It's still early in the year yet, right? But yeah, you're getting very good positive reviews about this album. I mean, it's probably the most you've gotten since you've been in the band, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, but as you said, the reactions, even of the press, are so overwhelming. Really, sometimes I have to use the expression, I'm kind of taken aback because I've heard people say how best Helloween album ever, and so hey, we're talking about we beaten up Keeper and Walls albums, which are legendary metal albums, though. So, but. Indeed, people are cheering and celebrating that album, and yeah, I'm kind of, on a positive way, kind of shocked about the reactions. I knew from the beginning on that it could get something really cool and something really stand out, but that we surpass the expectations that way, that's makes me kind of proud, but taken aback because hey, we're talking about beating up Keepers and whatever. Hey, it's amazing. Yeah. I'm kind of completely over the moon.
Yeah, you look like it. Well, that's cool. You know, I wouldn't know what to really. Well, I kind of knew what to expect because when you guys announced that Kiski was going to come back and Kai, I mean, I knew that it was going to be a big deal. You know, and then to see that it led to an album, you know, that's awesome to see. Now, do you think, or is it set in stone that this lineup is going to stick together now?
Yeah. We gave thought to it, and not that long. It took us a couple of minutes to agree. Everyone of us gave yes, and so it was a kind of it just happened kind of naturally because of during the previous tour. So actually, step back a bit. The previous tour, that was actually, it was just planned to be a tour, so period. And then we wanted to see what's going on then. And during slap bang in the middle of the previous tour, so all of a sudden, the guys started exchange ideas, swapping ideas, talking about song ideas, and so. Yeah, all of a sudden we kind of implying doing an album. So, you know, did I write implying an album? So we just implying doing an album, and so back then we implied to do an album, and so at the end of the tour it was kind of, yeah, why not? So our management picked up the idea and put all the bits and pieces together, and together with our record company, Nuclear Blast, Markus Steiger, the chief justice of it all. So they just made it kind of happen. And so, yeah, it back then it was the right decision. It still feels the right way. So, and we are just back as a simple band, Helloween, not just Pumpkins United. So we are back under one banner, under one flag. It's called Helloween. So kind of, you could take it that way. Pumpkins United, in a sense, as it was supposed to be or considered to be at the beginning of the previous tour. Now we are kind of back as just Helloween, but the 7 of us.
How is that working with all seven of you now together? I mean, you got 2 singers, and I'm sure they all want their own ideas, but how is it working together with everybody now?
Yeah, that's
original people.
I mean, from the beginning on, when we got together for the first rehearsal for the previous tour, so it felt to me it was like wow. All of a sudden, I had Kai next to me, and up front there was just Kiske singing. And so one of the first songs we burst into was "I'm Alive," and that's one of my most favorite songs. One.
Yeah.
So to play that song with the original voice, and with Kai and all, it was an experience I will never forget. So
right, yeah.
And the workflow among us, it's just wow. Yeah. So we complete each other. Yeah, that's what I could say. So, and all kind of this all happens kind of quite naturally, as we hadn't done anything else before. So that's how it feels. It might sound a bit superficial, but that's the fucking beep.
It's okay. You can say whatever you want here.
Yeah, okay. That's the fucking truth.
Exactly. Please.
No, really. And during the previous tour, we jailed together so good, and so and we get along with another, and we enjoyed being on stage night after night and playing this legendary and this new era, this Darius era songs and the war songs, and so I mean, we have now 3 of the original singers. So whatever we come up with, so now we always want to have the perfect voice. And that makes us armed to the teeth.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can pretty much play anything from any era now. Not that Andy, I always loved Andy's vocals when he did them live. I mean, he did Kiske stuff awesome. But now you got the original guy back, so, so Andy gets a little break,
I mean, yeah, of course, a little missing break and link and whatever. So Kiske's opera voice, and Kai's shouting voice. And to me, Darius is more kind of between both, the reincarnation of both. He can sing kind of Kiske, and he can easily shout as Kai does. Right. So hey, a perfect mixture on having 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's what makes me really proud. And so offer whatever we go, we have the right voice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. And I actually got to see you guys on the Pumpkins United tour when you came to New York. You played Irving Classic, yeah.
That was this little club.
Yes. Yep. It's funny because I watched all the videos from you guys playing from other these big stadiums, and you got the whole thing behind you with the all the lighting and all that stuff, and the thing around your drum set and everything. When you come here to New York, you have like nothing. But it's cool. You had the stuff on the background, and then you had Ingo's video and stuff that you played along to and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the last time we played the last time we had played before that show, we had played PlayStation.
Yeah, it was PlayStation, and then you played Studio 58. That was even smaller.
Yeah. And then this one. And that was the first time I've heard about this club.
Okay.
And at the flight back home, I watched a movie. It was about a couple of musicians, and all of a sudden this club appeared in that movie. They played a show in there, and I was like, hold on, that's the fucking same club. Oh, that's the same club we were in. So it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a lot of good shows there. It's actually probably one of the only places left, because I don't know if you remember BB King's back in New York City. That place is gone.
I still keep the T-shirt I bought there.
Oh, okay, really? That's cool.
I still have it here in my cover.
It's actually the first time I met you. I actually met you in New York City. You were walking down the street back when you had hair. You had long hair. And you were just walking down the street, and I came up to you.
And you were the guy. I entered the World of Music. Wasn't it this kind of store, World of Music, or what's called the store with the lot?
It's not there anymore either, but the Virgin Records. You were just coming out of Virgin Records, yeah.
So wasn't it around this area where we bumped into another back then?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember I looked a little bit different too. Back then I had a little goatee.
And someone bumped into me. Hey, you're Danny, and I was like, yeah, it's me. Hi, I'm so excited. Yeah. New York, and someone knows me. So wow, before, and so I entered the store, and there was a drum magazine with me with my picture in. So and it was like, USA, fucking cool to me.
yeah. It could have been me. I don't remember. But yeah, that was cool. It was cool to meet you and everything. I didn't get to meet the other guys, but it was still cool to see you, because I'm a drummer, like I mentioned to you before we started the show, and yeah, I do have a bone to pick with you though. I mean, like I told you earlier, I've been playing drums for like 25 years, and when I started playing, I practiced to like the easy stuff, because I self-taught myself how to play. So I listened to like AC/DC and like Guns N' Roses and some Metallica stuff to get into learn how to play drums. And then my friend gives me Keepers of the Seven Keys Part 2. I've never heard it before. This is back in like 1991 or so. So I hear that and I want to play this now. I want to play double bass and stuff like that. So then I taught myself how to play that. And then all through the Helloween albums, I can pretty much play the drums. Keepers of the Legacy Part 3. You come in. I'm done. I can't do what you do. And how many arms and legs do you have? Because it's impossible to play your stuff. I'm just not that kind of a drummer. You're hiding them. They're hiding in your jacket and your pants. I know it.
Yeah, in my pants.
Well.
The one-eyed snake still takes place between my pedals. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my kind of drumming. So I consider myself something between Ingo and the powerhouse Ingo. I'm in awe of ever since. I mean, he's a self-taught drummer too, and that's what made him, or for me, makes him. He's still there. Makes him so stand out in that drummer scene. He brought things up on the drummer table back then. I mean, we're talking about the 80s. And all of a sudden it was like, for me, it was like he was the first progressive speed metal drummer.
Right. Yeah,
even though And I get asked so many times, or I got asked so many times, what's difficult in Ingo's style, for example, compared to Uli's. I mean, technically, it's not that big of a deal to play these songs. It's not easy, but what's in there is this massive energy he put into those records, that made him kind of stand out. He's a real powerhouse. And that I realized the first time when I had to play Eagle Fly Free for the first time. And then I listened to it. We always record the rehearsals. So I thought, yeah, well played. But it's not the Eagle Fly Free version, or it's not the Eagle Fly Free I know from listening to records. Right. So I figured out, as soon as you hit it as hard as he did, because it's self-taught, he just beat the hell out of the drums.
Right.
That's the perfect approach. And that's what the tricky part is in Helloween. And it doesn't matter how fast we go, you always have to play the bass drums and the drums as hard as possible, because that's what power metal is supposed to be.
Right.
And keep that stamina through a 3-hour show. That's what the boys expect from me. That's what I expect from myself. I'm a self-critic boy or drummer, so I record every show. I'll listen back to every show, and I'm really fuzzy and meticulous, almost kind of pedantic in the point of my drum parts. Mainly the feeling I offer. I always try to transmit something, convey to the people. Right. That it's always about energy, and that's what I've learned from Ingo. And Uli, of course, is a technical monster. I mean, I've known him for even when he was with Holy Moses, the former band, something.
He's in tons of bands there.
Yeah. And so he impressed me back then. He impressed me with his technical ability. It was like, and what he did played in Helloween. Technically, it's always for me. We're going to play a song from the Kush era. It's like, it's getting tricky.
Yeah.
So, but
it's like that song Mission Motherland. There's a lot of stuff going on in that song with the double bass, and it's like,
yeah. So hopefully we're never going to play that song.
Is that like one of the songs? Like, is there any song that you said I don't think we should do this one? Is there any ones like that?
I mean, no. I'm eager to do everything, but the band wanted to play. So what I always want to play is Push. That's what I loved playing, but somehow the song doesn't match to the today's Helloween live set, whatever, because it's a real thrash metal song, even harder than the Wars era. So when I listened to it the first time, I remember quite well, I bought the CD, and then all of a sudden I could literally see Andy screaming at me. What the fuck is Helloween doing now?
Right. Yeah.
So I always wanted to play that song, so I loved playing it. So we gave a lot of thought to it, but somehow it doesn't work. So really, so play-wise, I would love to play it. So it's not that fast, but it's a real thrash metal. I'm a boy I'm more a thrash metal guy in the band. I'm more the Onslaught, Slayer, and stuff like this, and Exodus. Hey, watch out, the new Exodus, killer.
Oh,
and
okay, good.
So
I'm
it's going to be released at the end of the year. So.
Oh, good.
And these songs but we'll see. So.
Yeah. I noticed that definitely since you've been in the band. I mean, the drumming has been just. I can't even describe like the word. You've just been like a monster. Over what?
Over the top.
Very over the top. I'm like, God, this guy is just, he must be a spider. But it's been awesome,
Every time, because I always
every drummer is like with Ingo and Uli and NOU, you've all added your own thing to it. So you didn't copy what everybody did, but you brought in your own thing, and I like how it's how you've been in the band. What you added to the band too. You've added a lot of a thrashier element to the band too.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate this. Really, it's not a matter of course getting compliments paid from another drummer in that scene. Today, hey, I can tell you in that business. But hopefully a lot of people enjoy my drumming as well. But it seems as they do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been in the band for such a long time. I mean, I'm pushing 17 years now.
Wow!
I'm the drummer who has been with this lineup the longest. I mean, it's amazing.
Wow! Yeah. When did you start listening to Helloween? Like, what album was your start?
Well, it's a Fierico, of course.
Oh, really? So you're right from the beginning.
Yeah. I'm pushing the 50.
Oh, really? Okay.
1 year, and then it's done.
Nice. Well, happy birthday.
1 year. I'm born in February 73, so 1.5 years, and then it'll happen.
Wow.
And so, but yeah, Words of Jericho, I remember quite well. But that was an album they didn't quite get me then. So, but with the Keepers, they completely drawn me in. So that was that kind of music I always wanted to play. And somehow I always knew that the day will come that I enter the drum throne, as crazy as it might sound. I knew it. Mate, I can tell you, I don't want to be too esoteric, so no, it's the right thing. But as a child, almost everything I experienced as a drummer, I dreamt about it before as a kid. I dreamt, do you know Doro Pesch of Warlock?
Yeah, of course.
And I somehow I like her music back then as Warlock, and so I dreamt about one dream was sitting with her in the same tour bus, and all of a sudden I did it with my previous band. We were supporting her, so but a dream came true. And with the same I had here with Helloween. Somehow I had always knew that the day will come that I entered the drum throne. It was clear as crystal to me. And when I got the call, it was like, yeah, where have you been so for long? So I've been chomping at the bits for quite a long time. How dear to call me that late.
Yeah. Right. Well, we both had the same dream, but I'm glad you got it over me, because I would never be able to do what they're doing now. Actually, but although I do my own music. This is my own band. ProjectResurrect.bandcamp.com. I'm plugging my album during your interview.
Oh yeah, that would be nice, because I always checking demos and unknown band in a sense. Sorry, I don't want to offend you, man, but I always check.
No, believe me, I know that, we're obviously unsigned and just unknown band. It actually just got released last month, but yeah, I mean, I had another album out too before that, an older band, but I gave up music for like 13 years because just when you're in bands and then you when you break up, and then try to do other bands with other people and it just doesn't work out sometimes, it kind of like it doesn't make you want to go back to it.
So, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Actually, and even talking about that, one of the bands you came from was Rawhead Rex. Whatever happened with that band?
I have no clue. But actually, we started that band to conquer the world, to become fucking rock stars. I mean, and somehow the boys in the band all of a sudden turned things down or weren't willing to conquer the world anymore. They just wanted to do it as a hobby. And for me, no, that's not my way. I don't want to do music as a hobby. I always wanted to do it for making a living.
Right. Yeah.
Not because of the money thing or become a rock star or whatever. I consider myself not as a rock star, but the drums, the drums are so important to me, to my life. I can't be without drums even one day. Yeah. I need to play fucking drums. That's my passion. I wouldn't say I can't. It's not my personality, I don't need the drums to have a personality. But the drums are so important, the music, and I'm always after interpret or play my instrument as perfect as I can, because my passion deserves to be played as perfect, as best I can. I mean, I have a goal, and I want to be probably here, right. But I know I will never be there. But as long as I live, I will do my really best to come as close to that goal, to be the drummer I always want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I will never achieve that goal, to be the drummer I always dream about it. I know the time will be too short, life will be too short. But I will do my fucking best to get as close as possible. And that means I need to go to the rehearsal room. I love it to go to the rehearsal room and every day. Yeah. And just, getting better and better and better and better. It's my passion. I need this. And the same is with music, with Helloween music. Helloween become my baby, so to say, my band. I'm not just a hired gun or whatever. I mean, I'm a part of Helloween, and I like this music ever since. And I enjoy playing Helloween music night after night.
Nice.
There will never be anything like tediousness or whatever. So every night I enjoy, even though sometimes I have to push myself because touring around the world takes a lot. Yeah, and sometimes I do not really know where to put myself because of being worn out and whatever. So often I go on stage and I think, it just hurts so much. So, but now it's time. The fans are there, spotlight on. So
hey, you turn into a different person when you're on that stage. You get that adrenaline, and you don't feel those aches and pains anymore.
Yeah, even when I'm on stage, I'm a completely different person to what I am normally. You know, a lot of people are shocked when they meet me behind the stage. It's like you're so completely different to the personality we've shown right before on stage. Because on stage I completely go crazy, go nuts.
Right.
But that's I can't get it to grips. it's the drums. Thunder and lightning.
What's the thing that got you into playing the drums? Was there a certain drummer, or maybe your parents or something? Or
yeah. My parents are musicians too.
Okay.
My sister, my brother-in-law. So I grew up in a musical surrounding, and so it was for me from the beginning on. It became quite naturally starting a career as a musician, even though I did an apprenticeship as an instrument maker. That's what my parents wanted me to do, to at least have a regular job and schooled job, whatever. So I did an apprenticeship. And so, and that's all. And for me, drums were, I can't explain. Drums were around ever. Even in the womb of my mother. My mother.
Yeah.
She's, as I told you, she often told me, even when she was pregnant with me, that I was stomping and bumping in her belly.
Yeah.
So, but in the groove, I came along with the right patterns.
Wow.
At least with a tempo, something like this. I mean, long time ago.
So you were born to play the drums.
Yeah, nah. It's a gift.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. I mean, I tried to play guitar at one point, and then during one of my guitar lessons, this drummer came into the place to check out drums. He started playing, and I'm like, "What is that? I want to do that now." You know, and I've been stuck ever since. You know, it's an awesome thing. You know.
Yeah, but to mention something. I'm one of those drummer. I'm not a musician. I consider myself as a rhythmist, as a drummer. I'm not one of those who comes up with, I'm the drummer, but I can play guitar too, and I write songs. Yeah. No, I can't, and I'm not willing doing it because I have no joy in playing guitar. Even though sometimes I can play some riffs, but seriously, no, forget about it. And I don't want to write a song, even. You never know if there comes something to mind, which could be whatever. Yeah, but at the moment, I've got plenty things to do with coming up with the right drum arrangement for the boys' ideas, and that keeps me on my toes. I can tell you. If you listen, for example, to Robert King or Down the Dumps or whatever. So hey, man, there's so much things in, and so now we go back to the thread we lost because of the overplay thing. That's the way Helloween wants to have the drums, so we want to have it kind of always exaggerated, you know. Even the moment I play less, it's like, no, we want to have more. We checked it out so many times, even for this recording. So I said, hey, let's go back to that feeling, to the drum grooves of the Keepers. Every time when we burst into the Keepers songs, it's more straight ahead and we have more power on stage. So let's check it out for the new recording. So I played a couple of tracks, patterns or whatever, and it was like, those times has gone. Let's do it the old way. exaggerate, Danny. Give all you have, and yeah. And I was like spinning around like a spider, as you said, and that's the way of drumming I'm used to, and so
that's your style. So and it works. But I noticed like with my God-given right, you stripped the drums down a little bit. It wasn't so crazy and all over the place.
Yeah,
and you also didn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that was deliberately. I wanted to have it more suitable for the song, and I started this thing with Straight Out of Hell. There, I stepped back a bit because Seven Sinners was packed, not as packed as this album, the current Helloween album, but that was the way I thought. Let's go back a bit and kick back a bit while playing drums. Relax, boy. But now I'm back on track, and that's the way we want to have it. So
now on My God-Given Right, I remember I think you saying that you did not use a click track, right?
I started this with Seven Sinners. Seven Sinners was the first record. I was just around, and so we wanted to play bass and drums, but Marcus didn't know the song, and I said, so, okay, let's start again, but on my own. So I just played the songs out of my mind. That's what I did with Seven Sinners and Straight Out of Hell, God-Given Right, and so I just prepared the drum parts back home in my little drum demo studio, what I call it. And so as soon as the songwriter and our longtime producer, Charlie, said, yeah, it's okay. So I learned the tracks just down pat, symbol for symbol, drum fill for drum fill. So and I started the recordings, and I recorded the stuff as I played on the demos, and on my own I was just singing. Charlie clicked me in for a couple of bars, cling, long, and then he turned off the click and just let me go. And so that's the way Seven Sinners and the previous 3 albums were recorded. So I really enjoyed it. So it brought back a bit this kind of life.
Yeah, more freedom too, right?
Yeah. And I can more that feel that you finally can see a human being behind the instrument. Because of today's recordings, sometimes it's like, a great song. About the mix, you can always talk about it. But somehow it's like, to me, I can't see the musician anymore behind the instruments. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, so, but due to record without a click, it brings in even more human nature, and that's what actually should be in the music, or what should call in the music.
Right. Yeah. I think everybody nowadays, there's a lot of bands where you almost can't tell them apart in a way, because a lot of drummers either play the same way, or the plugins and things that they use too. It's hard to differentiate people, and like you say, with that click, you feel like it's a robot playing. You don't get that human feel.
Yeah, and so but this time on this record, we recorded with
you went back to the click.
But there's a story behind, so we weren't quite convinced about what way we should go. So, for example, the first song I recorded was Indestructible.
Okay.
And so, overall, we spent a lot of time for every single song to get the right feeling recorded. For example, Indestructible. I played the first track I played. It was like really soft, with a click track, but soft. So more round. It would sound a bit more round, So, and then I played the same way without a click. And then I played really hard, I'm used to, with a click. And then I played really hard as I'm used to, but without a click. So we had 4 versions. And then we stick together. and listen to the 4 versions. And so that was the way we decided for every song, or we could get a feeling for every song. So I played a couple of minutes, different feelings. Okay, that's feeling okay. Now we're going for the hard version, But we brought back a kind of for a couple of songs the click track, of course, because we did a jam session. That was the first time that I've been in Helloween that we did a jam session. So
oh wow,
yeah. We secluded ourselves into a studio in Hamburg for, I guess, 6, 7, 8 weeks.
Wow.
So we jammed around with the existing demos, with the already existing songs, and so we just jammed around and swapped ideas, exchanged things, re-recorded. So we recorded the entire recording, a jam process. So at the end of this kind of jam session, whatever, so I directly started recording the drums. So there was no time left to prepare myself, as I'm used to do. But yeah, it went well. So I really enjoyed that way. I did it a couple of times, and so it wasn't quite new to me. But it has positive aspects and negative, so whatever. But for that recording, I think we found the right way.
Yeah, whatever works. Now you mentioned you were working on some previous songs. How many? Because I know on My God Given Right there was like 33 songs written for the album. So there was a lot of songs left over. And I think Robot King was left over from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was there any more that was kind of put onto the new album too from the last album? Like any of the leftover songs?
No. Just Glory, actually.
Okay.
Glory is one of those songs. I mean, the first time I recorded Glory was during the Gambling with the Devil recordings.
Wow, okay. Oh, wow.
So Mikey came up with Glory, whatever. And that was the first time. And then we tried it again with, I don't know, wherever, whenever, I don't know. But I recorded it 3 times. Wow. And I said to Mikey this time, hey, that's the 3rd time. I will do it. I'm going to do it. But then, never ever again.
3rd time's the charm.
And this time it turned out to be the right song. I mean, he rearranged and put in more things. He refined it, brought it onto a completely different level. And so it's the perfect opener song for that song, for that record.
Yeah, it definitely has like almost like a Eagle Fly Free type feel to it. Even some Worlds of Jericho type sound to it too.
Mikey came up with this kind of you can feel. He brought this kind of Walls of Jericho feel onto this record with his songs. Yeah. So that's crazy.
It is interesting to see how you kept the modern Helloween sound in there, but you also did go back and bring in some of the older stuff. Nothing from Chameleon or Pink Bubbles Go Ape though, which I'm very upset about.
I can play. I can play trumpet. I could have laid down a trumpet solo. Then we would be kind of chameleonish or whatever you want to call it.
What do you think about those albums, the Chameleon and Pink Bubbles Go Ape? They're my favorite. One of my favorites. So,
I mean, both of them are great albums in a sense. Yeah. Maybe. I mean. It's up to the Helloween fans, but to me, those records are great records, but not really Helloween records. Right. But every band in its career has a certain era where they just trying out things.
Right.
Every band, Testament, whatever you name it, and Bon Jovi, Aerosmith. Yeah, tons. So, I mean, back then they were quite young. Do never forget this. They were at the stage of worn out after the Keepers. What should have they done?
Right.
And, I think it was the right way to do those records.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too, because it brought them back to what they are, what you guys are today. So it kind of they were leading into that anyway. So it was I loved it because when I started getting into Helloween, I was kind of new with them, and when that Pink Bowls came out, that was like the first album that was brand new to me. So it was awesome to see that. But
I mean,
you think,
they are quite important in
yeah,
Halloween.
I think so too. Yeah. Do you think you ever add some of those songs to the set list from those albums?
What's the name of the...
Definitely, you gotta get Giants in there.
Yeah, that's what I named. Giants, and the other one, I'm not so into that song types. They released a single back then, and it's more a rock-oriented song. And I have to say, why not?
Yeah.
Interpret with seven of us nowadays today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be quite interesting how those songs would sound now.
Right.
After all these years haven't played, but with different people now. Right. I mean, me on the drums, Sasha on the guitar, having three of those monster singers. So why not? Good idea. I should bring it onto the table.
I really think you should. A lot of people are missing some of those, especially Giants. I would just love to hear that song live.
We're slowly running out of time, I see. So, but
right. I will end this pretty quick. So for the new album, what's your favorite song off the new album?
Down the Dumps.
Really?
Yeah, I like this. I like this song somehow. This song has this kind of Walls of Jericho thrash metal attitude. Down, down, ding, yeah. I like this groove and this feel, and it's such a diverse song. Mikey put in so many different parts, and so it's for me a kind of a mini keeper song from which could easily found its way onto the Walls of Jericho record. So, but now we have it on our new Helloween album. And yeah, that's one of my favorites from this album.
Yeah, is there one that was kind of hard to make drums up to?
Yes, Cyanide. The Cyanide.
Oh, really? Okay.
That took a lot. That really challenged me because of this up and downs tempo-wise. You have this half-time double bass drum thing going to down, and all of a sudden you have to burst into the kind of fast. Triple field double bass drumming, and to keep that volume. Oh wow!
So this one might not be played live. I'm gonna assume, maybe not.
I think we should. Yeah, but live, yeah, it's a bit different. But in studio, to keep in the studio, it's like being always under pressure, and so you easily could be, it's quite hard to record those songs in a studio situation than playing live. Live is a completely different thing, and so you can trick a bit, and no one really cares about if you lose a bit volume between the patterns, but in the studio you will hear it right away. So live, it's always a bit easier. So
right now you had, I believe, two producers. You had Charlie, who you've been working with forever, and then you brought Dennis Ward in. And Dennis Ward has a little history with Andy Dearest. Yeah. Was there was Andy kind of pushing back that a little bit, or
no? I mean, they had tackled their problems before we entered the studio years ago. Right at the time, I guess 15 years ago, or even when I joined Helloween, those things were already fixed, and tackled. So they get along with another quite well. And he was a kind of the director for the jam session, Dennis, and he's a monster in throwing out melodies and rhythms and arrangement ideas, and he's a co-producer too, so he recorded most of the basses and guitar recordings of Kai, of course. So he was responsible for the bass recordings. he recorded Marcus and Kai, so to say.
Yeah.
He's a really renowned producer on the market, on the metal market.
I almost half of my collection behind me has something to do with Dennis Ward. It's either Helloween or Dennis Ward related. So he's awesome. So I was actually happy to see that he was involved.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, I've known him for 20 years already before I joined Helloween, and he is a really kind guy, really smooth, and I like being surrounded by him. So.
Now, do you think maybe for the next album it would be kind of like the same little arrangement, or
why not?
Possibly?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why change anything?
Yeah. You got a winning team now, so.
Yeah.
And what was the story? How come the album got mixed in New York? Why was it sent to New York to get mixed? How come it just wasn't all mixed?
Because Roland Brandt,
mm-hmm.
he settled in New York. He has his studio back there. He has his studio there in New York. And so, yeah, that's the way we got it mixed in New York, because Roland is there with his studio, and it was quite interesting. So we could take part of the mixing process via internet. So that was crazy. So got a link, and whenever you were fancy listening to what the boy is doing, so you could link in, and all of a sudden you found yourself in the middle of a mixing process. But sometimes it was like quite boring listening to a snare drum for 10 minutes.
Right.
Ging, bing, 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 bing. Okay.
Now, did you buy Ingo's drum set? I heard an interview the other day saying you might have bought them, but they weren't sure.
I got it lent by Mike Strottman. His nickname is Strotty. Even easier to be. After the last show, we played in Hamburg for the previous tour, so we hosted a kind of an after-show party. Yeah. And Mike came up and told me something about the drum kit. I didn't take that much notice about it, because after a show, you've got the drum kit. Okay, bye. Yeah. But after a couple of weeks at home, all of a sudden the penny dropped, and I thought, I mean, hey, I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up with this kind of drum sound. It's a Sonor signature drum kit, which was the benchmark back then.
Right. Yeah.
And I always wanted to play such a drum kit. And I thought, hey, why not bringing the original drum sound back onto that record? And even the vintage sound from this. I mean, this drum sound is the face, for me, the face of the metal music of the beginning 90s, but mainly the 80s.
Right.
So and I love playing thick shells. So I have thick shells too with my pearls. Yeah. And so I'm used to playing those thick shells, so that's what I wanted to say. And so we checked out the drum kit, and it just sounded amazing. It sounds amazing, still does. Yeah. And it suits the songs. I really love listening to that kind of drum sound. It's But I've got a similar drum kit, a Sonorphonic, which really similar to the signatures, just the layers of bubinga or mahogany wood is mixed, so that's the only difference. But for sound-wise, Sonor said sound-wise, they are completely different, and it's almost the same shells, except the outer layer of the signatures is made from mahogany or bubinga or whatever you want to call it. So I like this drum kit, so whenever I need it, I get it, and so
Oh, wow. So he just give it up to you again. That's awesome. You know, you never expect a fan to come up with you and say, I got Ingo's drum set. You know,
it was coincidentally, and all of a sudden I thought it really must be having Ingo on the record somehow to go back more to this esoteric thing, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome, and yeah, it's glad that you have them on there. So that's great, and the new album's awesome. I don't have it yet. It's on order. I ordered every single version. There's so many different vinyls and everything, but I just got this little thing. It came with actually where is it? Rock Hard magazine put out a magazine,
okay.
and they gave you like a free CD. So I had to get it. Can't read it because it's in German. So, but still cool anyway. Doesn't matter. But I've been listening to the streaming version. But the album's awesome. It sounds pretty good. And I'm happy that Kiski's back together with you guys and Kai's with you. And yeah, so I just can't wait till the next album. You know?
So do I. and mainly finally get back on stage.
Yeah. When is that actually? Is that next year?
We postponed the tour now for the third time. So
yeah, I saw that.
Now it's planned to go on tour at the beginning of next year together with Hammerfall, which is going to be you never know, times are unpredictable. Be a massive package. And so, I mean, we've known another for such a long time. We become friends. And so now having Hammerfall as the beginning band, it's not a support band, it's a double power metal package, whatever you want to call it. And I think for the fans, it's going to be an amazing, enjoyable night.
Yeah, I think so too. I think everybody's going to be happy.
So now I'm out there. The next one is calling already. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it for doing this interview. And good luck with everything. And hopefully, maybe next album, I'll get to talk to you again.
Yeah. Maybe we can bump into another or catch up with another in New York the next time.
I will definitely be there because I've been to every Helloween show that has came through here so far.
Yeah, just send my text message via Skype, whatever.
All right. Yeah, cool.
I'll check it on daily basis. So why not?
All right, very cool. And actually, I'll send you my band's my band's album. I'll let you.
Just send me a text message on Skype, and I'm in. So
will do.
I really would appreciate. So thank you for that wonderful, refreshing interview because I've been doing interviews the entire day. So
I couldn't.
That was a kind of something really fresh with the drummer. Talk with the drummer. I love it.
Yeah, actually, one of my other co-hosts, he's actually interviewing Sasha tomorrow, and he's a guitar player. So I said, that's great because you can talk guitar talk with him, and I get to drum talk with Danny. So perfect.
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 Okay, hey,
all right.
Red Salad. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you very much again. I will talk to you later. All right.
Bye-bye.
Right, bye. RedSaladReview.com. What?